Can we open it up like this? Welcome to the Mindful Movement Podcast, baby. This is Johnny, Tyler, Jake. What's good? All right, we ready? We're trying to have fun, bro, you know? But this guy is always...
All that Xanax you're taking.
Yeah. Slow down on the Xanax, right? Bro. Kid's a fucking idiot. If he said crack, maybe it might have made sense, but slow down on the Xanax. I'm like, I think I would be the opposite way I am now if I was on Xanax. It'd probably be normal.
Right. That's my buddy is like that. He takes Xanax and he's like normal.
Really?
Yeah, like wakes, you know, it's a drug. His
Bro,
brain
if I
is like,
take
hell
a
yeah.
0.25 Xanax right now, I will nod out on this table.
Even when I was getting really, really high, I couldn't take Xanax.
No, bro, I get you fucked up.
All right, come on.
All right, cool. We got a cool guest for you today. This is Johnny's really good friend. They have been on both sides of the fence together, you know, per se. So we're going to introduce Jake. And Jake has a really powerful story. And Jake's also in the trenches right now. You know, Jake is in the middle of getting sober, right? He is sober, but he's in the trenches. A lot of the times we bring people on that have 4 or 5 years, 10 years, like Sarge. We're going to do something a little different today, you know, and we're going to kind of, you know, explore the mind of somebody who is in the middle of getting clean. Yeah. Come on.
Explore the mind.
Explore the mind, baby. Come
on.
You hate me today.
Nah, you're good.
Jake, thank you for coming.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, thanks for being here, bro. So my thought behind this whole thing is like, you know, I watch a lot of podcasts, we watch a lot of stuff on social media, and there's a lot of really good stuff out there, but you never really see the other side of it, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, we can tell our war stories and all that shit, and those are great, and, you know, they add value and bring hope to people and all that, but like, I never see him interviewing someone who's like in the midst of it, right? I think it'd be cool to have someone in the midst of their addiction too, right?
Yeah.
You know, but that's for another day, because today we have someone in the midst of recovery. And I thought, what a better person than to have this fucking knucklehead, you know, on the pod, because as you see, I know this kid front to back. He knows that he's nervous as shit.
It's all right.
For sure.
It's all right.
And he knows that I'm not going to take it lightly and just keep it real. But the one thing I will say, and the only reason that he is on here is because he is doing the deal.
Yeah.
We've known each other since like beginning of 2015 or the end of 2015. We were in treatment together, and I've seen him through it all. You know, he's seen me through it all. Like you said, we got high together. You know, we tried to get sober together. You know, together. We've been in different treatment centers. He's been out to Texas with me a couple times.
Okay.
But he's also been locked up for long periods of time. He's young. How old are you?
30.
Just turned 30. So I think more than anything, when I thought about this, it's good for him, right? Because you and I kind of know it's really good, the power of like being able to talk.
Absolutely.
And he'll tell you he can't share for shit in meetings, right? Like,
you get a little nervous?
Nah, I just can't think of what to say.
Really?
And I get nervous too.
Yeah. And he's a tough guy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
he's a fighter, right?
Yeah, well, no. Look, he's tough.
Yeah.
You know, and he does jujitsu, and I think we can talk about that too.
Cool.
But his real thing is like he's starting to realize, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I probably will have to, because he's going to be all nervous about 30 minutes in, then I'll probably won't shut the fuck up. But like, you know what I mean? He's in that path that we've all been, like when we grow up as like tough kids and we grow up in environments and shit where like, you know, he's starting to realize that way of life isn't really conducive to sobriety. You know, it's not really conducive to living like a life that he wants to live. And you know, I was blessed to bring him down here to our place, and watch him kind of, you know, grow and shit. So
that's awesome. And you went through the Haven and you went through the recovery team?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so he went through it all. And he's been doing a deal. You know, he's at Safe House now. Another friend of mine, Nick Connor's place. And we hooked him up there, so we made sure he was in a solid house.
Cool.
And he's rocking it, dude. And he's going through struggles and all this shit. He's got a kid. We'll talk about that. And so it's cool because I get to kind of relive what I was going through 5.5 years ago. You know what I mean?
Keeps it real for you.
Yeah, and it's good. And he's seen me go through it too, so he knows when I tell him something, it ain't no fuck, it ain't bullshit, you know? And it's what got me where I'm at today. Very, very successful. Not, you know, well, yeah, you know, in the all the bells and whistles, but like more or less with my family and what he wants, you know? So
I thought
it'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm excited for this episode. I really am. Where are you from?
Like Northern Virginia.
Okay, cool, cool. How'd you end up with this guy?
So we ended up at a treatment center down here.
Okay.
I met him. So I met him when he met his baby's mom.
Okay.
In treatment.
Sounds fun.
Yeah.
Playing fucking basketball.
Playing basketball.
You fell in love in the med line, bro.
No, so they had the basketball. Go ahead.
That takes Suboxone on
we got fucking retarded.
Come on.
No, I was able to like just play basketball and fucking, be an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
So that was a little way of like their little connection. Yeah, like the med line for me a lot of times.
Me too.
Too many times, for him it was the basketball court. And then so from there, my buddy owns a treatment center and I went to PHP out there. He scholarshiped me.
Okay.
And I didn't know anything about the business or anything, but I started, had kids like him and some other guys come. I'm like, yo, come over to this one. I was basically the best marketer in South Florida for a period of time without even knowing what I was doing.
Yeah.
And he came over, and so we lived in sober living for a while together. Before I met you in treatment, what were we doing?
I was getting high in like Richmond, Virginia, fucking shooting crack and dope. Tried to sell like a half pound of weed to my crack dealer, and then got robbed. And owed a guy a bunch of money, and then sold the rest of the weed and bought a fucking train ticket to Fort Lauderdale, and then I stayed on to Miami, and then I was like, ended up staying in a hammock, and I thought it was solid, dude.
Yeah.
I was cool with it,
Yeah.
He always has this idea that he had this horrible like portable hammock. And even when he would get kicked out of the halfway house or whatever, I'd be like, "Where? Yeah." He's like in the hammock, and him and his girl were like living in a hammock. But the mentality that he had at the time was like he thought it was all right.
Yeah, we were chilling.
It was straight, dude. I came from the winter. I'm at the beach. You know what I mean? It made sense.
Off the ground, right? Yeah.
What'd you get locked up for before that?
Just weed and all the dumb shit, drugs.
How much time did you do? And it was it juvenile or regular detention? Like what were you locked up?
Like 3.5, probably by now, like more total.
Okay, but how long before you came down to Florida?
3.
And when I met you, how old were you?
2015. 23, 24. Yeah. Something like that.
So he was young, right? You already done like 3 years.
You just came off like a 3-year bid?
No.
Or was it chopped up?
2, like 2, yeah.
So you got out and then came down to South Florida?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then, so you guys met in Transformations? That was the first place that you guys had met?
Right.
Okay. And then you came full circle, ended up working at Transformations?
Yeah, I mean, years later.
Yeah, that was years later.
I went out to Austin, Texas. So let's back it up, right? So at one point I tried to go up to South Carolina to get clean, right? I was like, I'm going to buy a bunch of fucking drugs. I'm going to hop on this, Well, I went up there twice. Once was on a train. This time I had my car.
That's what we were just talking about. Right?
Yeah. With the cell phones.
Yeah.
With the cell phones. Yeah.
12 cell phones.
So I'm driving up and he calls me at this time. He's like, balls deep with the girl from treatment, who, by the way, he fell in love with and everything. It actually was far longer term. Obviously, they have a child together now, and we won't get into that because that's, and that's personal to her. And if it were just about him, I'd roast.
Of course, yeah.
But but needless to say, they had a good relation. They actually, it wasn't just like your normal treatment relationship.
Yeah.
And that's before they had a child, and they have a child together now. But anyway, so before she's pregnant, they're like, end up driving up to Virginia, where the fuck their next bright idea was. And I was driving up the same time, but I had lived in South Carolina before. So I knew some boys in down right off I-95. And so somehow, and it's all kind of foggy for me. So fill me in if you remember some of this shit.
I thought you were like living there, and then we met up with you because we took a wrong turn or something like that off 95 and went like an hour out of the way. And then we met up with you to cop some dope.
Yeah. So I knew people up there, right? So I was like, oh, I got you. And so like it's just wild that like we kept coming together. And then the next thing so then of course they lose the dope or whatever the case may be. They have to drive back down to meet me. We have to go get them more dope. We end up in a hotel room in South Carolina, just like wild shit.
Yeah.
And then I think we parted ways for a couple of years. That was the end of 2016, and he was driving up. I think he ended up driving up to Virginia. I ended up going out to Texas, and I don't know if we spoke I'm sure, we keep in touch all the time.
Yeah.
But neither of us were doing the right thing. I mean, I didn't even know if I had a cell phone a lot of times, right? Because I went back.
You sold all the cell phones at that point.
I went back to Florida. I had the deal with the Sprint phones, and I had 12 cell phones, and I sold every one of them for $250 a piece. To the pawn shop.
Mm-hmm.
And then all I had was a flip phone. I didn't tell you that part earlier.
Yeah.
Like, then all I had was a fucking flip phone. I got 12 phones out there. It was like $1,500 a month bill, and I got a flip phone.
Yeah, makes sense.
But what happened during that time is, I lost my wife. My wife divorced me.
Mm-hmm.
I had nothing, and so I was like on the other end of where he was. I just started.
Yeah.
Obviously not with the, my wife. I didn't meet in treatment or anything, but like all that. And so when my wife divorced me, and then Jake's on his way to having a baby, and it was just like we were going two separate ways. I went down to South Florida, and I was back homeless on the streets here in Boynton and Overtown and shit like that. And he was up there, and I don't know, man. Like, what were your thoughts? Because I know you weren't sober. You guys were living at your mom. Like,
no, we found out she was pregnant while we were copping in Kensington with Chris.
Oh,
yeah,
right. But what were your what were you guys gonna do? Like what's the mentality at that point?
No idea. Just riding it out, really. You know what I mean? I can't even remember that, like, what my mentality was,
Yeah.
It was just,
yeah,
we're here now,
And you went up to New York at that point?
At that point, like, Jackson, I mean, that whole time, Bree had stopped getting high when she got pregnant, like, a month in, thankfully. And then, what happened, dude? Oh, I went to California.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he started selling. He started like being, he had good insurance and started doing the whole deal. Got caught up in that. I remember I would be in the homing in, him and this other dude. Trying not to mention any names because I don't know what they want to be involved in. But like they would be in the I'd be in a hotel and they waiting for them to come back. They do like 6-day bids in the fucking detox. During the whole brokering thing. And that's why I watch these movies, and it's that stuff was so real, right?
Yeah.
I was always jealous because I had VA insurance, which is great for treatment, but you couldn't sell me. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't be. I would have done that shit in a heartbeat. I'd probably be dead, because they're giving you dope and everything. And so I used to just sit there and wait for them to come back. They come back with like hundreds of dollars from the detox, and it's crazy to think about that, crazy. Right? Like this is like literally we're killing. They're killing, killing people that way.
Yeah. And it's still going on, for everybody who's watching and thinks that like patients aren't still being brokered in this country. It 100% still happens. Thankfully, we cleaned Florida up, and Florida's like a good place to go. But, 2010, 2015, it was bad down here, and I mean, you've been out to Cali, so
yeah, I was supposed to get paid to go out there too.
Just jumped over.
Yeah, that's what it was. I think I got your ticket then, right? Did you get
stuck
out
some
there?
Girl Trent. Okay. You got me out of California.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He ended up stuck in Cali, bro. Stuck out there.
My fault, technically, because I got myself thrown out of treatment. But,
got it. So you didn't get paid.
Yeah.
Right. And they're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
So his fault, but no, you're acting exactly like you should, like a drug addict.
Yeah.
I don't subscribe to that. Like,
no,
we tried to help. I'm like, no, you were preyed on.
Trying to make money.
So I flew him back. Is that when I flew you to Texas?
Yeah, that's when I went to Texas.
So in the meantime, of course, my story's pretty documented. I went out to Texas. I went to the nonprofit Solstice Recovery with the guy Cole. And so I called him up and I said, dude, I got this.
Nah, I didn't go to Solstice that time, bro. You flew me from California to Texas and paid for my first month sober living. That's what you did.
All right. You owe me more money than I thought. Damn, all right.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, get the checkbook out.
Dude, look, man, I believed it. I believed in him. I still do, right?
Yeah.
He's very talented, and we'll talk more. We will definitely talk about where he's at now. And but I got a soft spot for people that are like me, man, because like at that point I understood the disease, and I understand that the shit that we do is not us, you know. And I watched him, with this. He had the newborn at the time, and and his struggles with the girl, and I understand what that's like too, right? Like think, and whether they end up together or not, who fucking knows? But like. The understand the breaking up and the thinking you're in love, all that shit, but you don't know if you're in love with the girl, the kid, she has your son. For me, it was a daughter. So I don't remember that, to be honest with you, but I'm sure I probably did. If he got money, I'm like, money was nothing to me. I never had it, you know? So, when he came out, What happened then the first time? Did you stay sober at all out there in Texas?
Yeah, I mean, not really. I mean, like 90 days or something
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
Started working at some fucking
So
rinky-dink.
how many times have you had 90 days?
A lot.
Yeah, why?
What do you mean? Because I don't ever do nothing.
Right, but like, what was the blocker? So we'll kind of bridge into now. Like, what was the
Bro,
what kept
actually,
you?
I think I only had 90 days a couple times. I usually make it about 30 before I slip off and smoke some crack.
Yeah.
You know, 30, 45.
What was stopping you every time though? Like working steps. When I tell you just work steps.
Just laziness, really.
Yeah.
See, I'm trying to lead the
It's
witness
really
here.
it.
I'm trying to lead the witness because I know he
Yeah.
has an issue with God.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and shit.
Tell us about
I'm
it,
fucking
bro.
teeing him up for you.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I mean, like, a lot of it just seems stupid, you know? Like,
Yeah,
I'm not
corny.
like gonna,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
corny,
corny.
you
Yeah.
know? And I still don't like, I don't know. I do the stupid shit that I'm told to do,
Mm-hmm.
but do I like believe in it? No.
Okay.
But like, I'm sober. So.
Yeah.
See, that's the tough guy bullshit too.
No, I don't know. I tell you this all the time.
But
fool.
you do believe because you see the tangible evidence.
100%.
Yeah, but like,
100%.
do I believe a lot of what I believe is like, I'm doing the right thing, so the right things are happening.
And what is okay?
It's like you
So
tell
what
me.
don't you believe?
What do you mean? What I don't
So
believe?
what you just said, but I don't believe in it.
Like a
You
lot
just
of
said,
the
"I
prayer,
believe."
a lot of the prayer, I still have trouble with like believing in.
What
Okay.
prayers are you supposed to say?
I don't know, just help me stay sober today, stupid shit like that, you know.
But it's been working.
Yeah, it works.
So
but
then you
like,
believe it.
yeah, but you get what I'm trying to say.
No, I don't.
You're such a prick.
He's trying to get it out of you
Look,
because.
and by the way, Jake, wait.
you're good. You're good.
This is not, you
Yeah.
ain't fucking unique. That's
Yeah.
what
no,
I'm saying,
yeah, like
bro.
I don't like my whole idea of what people are talking about when they say God. That's what I don't believe in. But do I
Okay.
believe
Yeah,
that
yeah.
what I'm doing or what I'm told to do works? Obviously, because you're a fucking idiot too, and it worked for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like,
Yeah, well, like, listen, when I first started to get sober, like, that was my problem. That's why I always relapsed, you know, because you couldn't tell me shit. Everything that they said in those meetings were corny. Like, I grew up in the Bronx, dude. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, so I came into these rooms where people are like, you know, go ask some dude out on a date. Like, you know, like that's no. Like, I ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it's presented to me. Like, you got to go to some guy and say, hey, like, let's go get coffee. Like, that sounds to me like a date. You know, I'm not doing that, bro. That's corny. I'm not sitting down with a guy and like talking about my personal feelings, bro. I wasn't raised like that's corny. And that's what stopped me from getting clean for so long. And I also had a problem with God, right? My problem with God was if God's so real, right? And my mom goes to church on Wednesdays, Mondays, and Sundays and is praying for me to stop getting high, why is he not helping me, right? That was my whole thing. Like, if this dude's real, the fuck, bro? Like, what did I do to have such a piece of shit life, bro? I grew up like this, but now I'm a junkie. Like, there's no God, you know? And then somebody put it to me like, the only reason that you're still fucking alive is because of God, bro. You know, like, how many times were you gonna fall out in your boy's back seat? Or how many times did you shoot so much dope that it should have killed the whole block? Like, you know, God kept you alive. And I got sober the exact same way you did, bro. I shut my mouth and I said, yo, tell me what to do and I'll fucking do it. You know, and I did not believe in anything that they told me to do. And about halfway through, it was like, yo, I got fucking 9 months. You know, like, everything I just did worked.
Right.
And now I believe in it, you know, because I did what they told me to do, even though I didn't
And
believe in it, and I got the results.
when you shut the fuck up and listen and actually read what's on, and that's why I think sponsorship's important, right? And again, here we are talking about the steps, and but there's other ways to do it. But like,
Absolutely.
when you read We Agnostic, like you, the idea of God, like for someone like him, like I'm like, stop fucking thinking about what you think God's got to be, dude. Like
It just has to be something bigger than you.
it
you
doesn't
know?
have to be he or any of
No.
that shit.
No.
It has to be that. That when I do the right thing, the right things happen. That's where God lives in anybody's God.
Absolutely. And really, God, all God is, like, in the program is just understanding that you're not the biggest thing here, right? Like, when you break it down to layman's terms, like, somebody put it to me, go look at the ocean. It's bigger than you.
Yeah.
You know, it will kill you.
Yeah.
So you're not the biggest thing. You know, it's just believing that something is bigger than you in life. You know, that's all a higher power is. People say, oh, trees and my higher power's this or that. Like, it could be anything that's bigger than yourself that you could just kind of put some kind of faith into, you know? But obviously the fake it till you make it thing works, bro. You know, I'm a true believer in that because that's exactly how I got sober, and that's how you're getting sober right now. You know, fake it till you make it, bro. You don't believe in it, do it until you do.
So I think too, and this is, you speak for yourself, but like the other thing with that, with like, if you don't have faith in God because you don't know what the fuck God is, and you think you have to like put this like label on God, like you're pretty fucked, right? And you're not just fucked in the program, like like for instance with him with his child, right, and with this kid's mom, is like, if I don't have faith in that, then I don't have faith that I'm gonna get my kid back, right? Now that's why I'm blessed to have gotten my kid back. And I really truly believe that's why I'm so loud on social media, and I'm wide open on here and everywhere, and he knows like this is how I live my fucking life, because like I don't even think I got my kid back just for my kid. Like I got my kid back for Jake to see that he can get his kid back. You know what I'm saying? Because I know like a guy like him, like he's not fucking gonna. He has to see it, just like me and probably you. Absolutely. Like I gotta fucking see it. Like you can tell me all day long. And only because we've been through what we've been through has he been able to see, you know? And now if I died, he probably, not like I kept him alive, but not being able to see someone else like him succeed. Yeah. And there's a million Jakes and a million Johnnies and a million Tylers. But like, that's what this is about, right? I have to have faith in the process. And the process is like the higher power and everything like that.
Well, I've told you that before. I think I said the only reason why like it's easier for me to do it now is because I saw it work for you.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Before 100%. That, like when I got into, like in the beginning, what the fuck are you people talking about? Yeah. You know what I mean? And then we got high together, and then fucking I'm still getting high, like getting locked up here and there, in and out. And then like, you know, 4 years down the line, he's still so 3 years. When did I help you move to New York? You had like 3 years, right? Something like that.
Man, no, probably like 2 and change.
Yeah, but either way, you know. Yeah, I had just started getting high again in COVID. You know, well, I wasn't really sober, but I wasn't shooting dope. You know,
it's There was one time, man, I remember like he called me. I was in Austin before he came, and he's like, extend the phone with me. I'm like, all right. He's like, cause I'm about to shoot this coke. And if I die, I need you to call the paramedics. I'm like, well, where are you? He's like, I'm not really sure. I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I remember, like it was clear yesterday. I was in a Dollar Tree, bro. I remember it, right on I forget, on Lamar. And I'm like, what? And I'm just like sitting on the phone with this guy, and I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Yeah. Now, obviously, he didn't die. Yeah. But like that's the insidiousness of this thing. Like, what are we doing right here? And I remember thinking like that. He's gonna die. Yeah. You know.
Well, it's only a matter of time, you know, for people that get high like we do. Yeah. You know, it is. It's
only a matter even now, especially. This is, that was a couple of years ago.
I don't even know how you're still alive with this fentanyl shit, bro.
Well, I fucking always got high by myself, too, so I don't even know.
It's the same way, dude. You know, if I was dying, I was dying, bro. I don't take people with me. You know, I don't leave treatment and try to take nobody, bro. I get high by myself, you know? It's the safest place.
So I think, too, and you can talk, like, this is what happened, right? So now he's using... Not now, but like, you know, he starts using because he thinks he has no faith, right? He has no hope, right? The principle behind the second step is hope, right? And then the third step is faith, right? So it's funny how that works, right? You got to have some hope to have some faith. Right. I think that's what we're trying to bring here. And that's why we brought him on, because like there's a hell of a lot more people that need to hear it, that listen to this podcast, that probably need to hear his story more than ours.
100%.
Because dude, I didn't know how to get, what do you got now? Well, we just talked about it.
5 months and some change.
5 in a couple days. Bro, that was an eternity. What we got was out of the question.
Yeah. 100%.
Out of the question.
Yeah.
Right?
It didn't exist.
So what got you to so you came down here, we already talked about that, right? Like he put some time together and then just started playing. Like what happened before you came here? Like the last year. What's the last year been like?
I mean, I had got the most sober time I had. Fucking whatever it was, I don't even remember. You know, then the whole thing happened with me and Bree. And then, I mean, it happened for like the 100th time, you know how that shit goes. And then I started dipping here and there. And fucking, I don't even remember the whole week conversation of me coming down here. Also barred out on Xanax, and shit like that, trying to hold a job. Yeah, because I was getting these, you know, it don't matter, but like.
So unbeknownst to him, I'm speaking to his mom the whole time. And I know that he's been drinking. You know, he goes on the family trip and he's drinking. And I'm telling his mom, like, all right, look, if I can get him down here, right, that shit's got to stop. You can't be like you don't, and she was fully on board, but like he fooled him because he's a good bullshitter, right? Into thinking that that's okay to have a couple of beers.
I did the same
thing. And
thing.
I'm thinking if he's having a couple of beers, bro, when they go to sleep, they were in what was that place in Georgia?
Savannah or something.
Savannah. I'm like, this motherfucker's probably going out the back door.
Absolutely.
I don't know whether he was or not, but like I already knew that he was on the. It was only a matter of time before the phone call came that he's dead, or thank God, the phone call that I got that he's, had it. He got arrested, he got in a fight, he fucking,
I hate that's just assault and refusal.
Just assault.
Stupid shit.
Yeah, assault.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Just assault. Everyone's got one.
Put it on the dude.
Yeah.
Huh?
Would you put it on him?
No, not even
He
bad.
don't know. He
I don't
don't
know.
fucking know.
Yeah,
You
but
can't remember. Yeah, you're all bought out.
Yeah, I remember.
But it all comes back to, right? Now, and I've been there with my kid, right? And this is where we'll probably break his ass. But like this guy loves his kid, right? And he's not able to see him. And I think that's where a lot of us give up, right? And we I was there. I couldn't see my daughter. My wife had left me. And this is the fight that we have, right? And I won't go further than you want to go with this, but like, dude, in order to get my wife back, I had to stop wanting to get my wife back, which I did. And I've talked about this on here. 100%, I made a decision that like, I got to stop trying to get these things back. I got to fucking do what they're telling me to do, like he's doing now, like I did, like you did.
Yeah.
And I got to just do that and not have a expectation attached to it that like if I do this, then this will happen. That can't happen.
No.
That mentality's got to be gone.
Yeah, it has to.
And he couldn't grasp that. Correct?
Yeah.
He couldn't understand that, and he was teetering on the hopelessness thing, right? Because if it was about love for his child, he'd already been back, right? So. What's just comment on that?
On what? Like
your son?
Oh, I mean, like, yeah, right now I kind of like I can't. I mean, and rightfully so, right?
Now let's
like,
talk about 6 months ago.
6 months
when
ago,
you weren't
what?
able to see your son.
Oh yeah, I mean, I felt like I had been doing everything right, and then and she's got all like I don't want to. She's done nothing wrong on that aspect. I'll say that. You know what I mean? But yeah, I couldn't talk to him. I didn't see a reason why I couldn't talk to him. And yeah, like the fucking it just was what it was, fucking.
So let me ask you this: you love your son, right?
Of course.
Why do you keep getting high? Why'd you keep getting high?
Because I like getting high more than I love him. I mean, I don't know. That's like the stereotypical. That's
sounds
but
good.
like, it's just easy. Getting high is easy. Like I don't have to think about shit. You know, I get high. Like I even like when it gets hard. Like when you're running from like just trying not to be dope sick. Like that's what all my thoughts preoccupy is not being dope sick. So like right now, like I have to, like, I guess more or less like the gay terms, like the lame, like the process, like my thoughts with my kid. You know what I mean? Which I don't want to do. And like when I'm getting high. It's in the back.
What do you mean you have to process the thoughts with your kid?
I have to like recognize certain things like, okay, I can't talk to him right now. I can't see him right now. And like not get mad at her for what she's rightfully doing, and then not like make it to the extreme. Like I'm never going to talk to my kid, which is easy to do. You know what I mean? Because that'll just revert me back to, fucking I'll smoke some crack or, you know what I mean? Whatever.
Easy.
So, like, I have to, like, really, like, be a man about what's going on in my life, which sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sucks till it doesn't.
Yeah.
But it does suck in the beginning. And it's
what do you mean
scary.
be a man?
Like, just process it. Like, just deal with what's going on,
So, what are you doing now that's different? Obviously, you're not getting high.
Not getting high.
That's a big part.
So we had this conversation the other night, right?
Nice.
I think it's very important, right? He's like, yeah, and not that he was wanting to say the right thing, but I think this is again like the cliche kind of answer when you're on the road to recovery. When you're actually doing the right thing is like I just got to block it out and focus on what's in front of me because I always tell him I'm like you can't focus on the girl, the baby, the nothing, right? You have to focus on what you're doing now. So then his response is like, yeah, but I'm just like blocking out Jackson, right? His son's name's Jackson. I'm blocking out, like I can't. And I'm like, that also isn't healthy, right? I'm
Absolutely
like,
not.
This may be harder, but don't ever block that out. Like, make no mistake, because that's impossible to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to use that, right, to motivate. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and maybe cry, right?
Yeah.
Maybe be sad.
Crying is really important. Really important. To get all of that shit out. Like,
He don't cry.
You don't cry?
If I do, it's in the shower.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think I've cried like in my you know what I mean? I cry in detox. I think the last time I cried was in detox. I'm dope sick and fucking all emotional, and you know how that shit goes.
Well, that
you know?
first like rush of emotions.
Yeah,
Think about all the shit you done wrong, but there ain't nothing wrong with crying, bro. We need that emotional release. We spoke about it with Laura. Like, you store that shit. Like, crying is a way to release those emotions so that they don't get stored inside of you, so that you don't harp on that shit.
Yeah. And I think that's, again, why I wanted him to come on here, too. Like, he was talking about, like, how do I tell my story? I'm like, what do you mean, how do you tell your story? You just fucking tell your story.
Yeah.
But you got to tell your story honestly, and that includes emotions, right? You got to be able to connect with that. And then that's the best story you could tell. Is the authenticity of it. Like we were talking about, like, I'm like, I'll sit in front of a bunch of men and cry now, right? I would have never thought that, right? And he's like, I can't do that shit. I'm like, but that's the deal, right?
Yeah.
Because I understand, you understand, and I think Jake's starting to understand. It was like, dude, crying does not make you weak, right? In fact, being able to cry, I was saying this, right? I'm like, cry in front of a bunch of men is probably the toughest thing you could do, because I don't give a fuck what they think. I need to cry. I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
Fuck what you think.
Yeah.
And if you, and then of course I end it, because I still want to, like, and if you got something to say about that, we could talk about it outside after I'm done crying, right? Which won't happen. but like,
he said, hold on, let me be soft real quick, and then I'm
but let me keep
right
it
up.
let me keep it, let's keep it 100. But that's the truth, right? It's like I'm not I mean, I'll go back to the big. It says we're not a doormat. Like, I'm not a doormat. Just because I'm crying in front of you doesn't mean you're gonna like laugh at me. I'll slap the shit out of you.
Of course.
But I'm also gonna experience emotions if I need to experience emotions, because that's like you said, it's so important, man.
So important.
Well, especially when you're dealing with a child, bro. You're dealing with like serious. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, but like our loved one, you don't want to block things out anymore. That's what we've been doing with drugs. That's what you're doing when you say it's easier. It's easier to block it out. I always say it too. Even though drugs were like the time I was actually getting high or not dope sick or shorter and shorter and shorter, at least I got that couple seconds of relief / being able to block out everything. That's not what we want to do anymore, man, because it never really goes away. It only goes away when we address it.
Yeah. And that's with anything in life, like if you don't address it right there, like, you bet your ass it's going to come up in some way, shape, or form. And that's usually why we get high. Like, a lot of the times, and I'm sure that you could agree with me on this, like, I would look in the mirror and be like, yo, why do I keep getting high? Like, I don't want to get high, bro. Like, and I tell this story all the time, bro. I was a habitual. I would get so high on Friday, bro, knowing that on Saturday I wasn't going to get high. And every Saturday I would wake up like 5:30 when your stomach starts to go, and you need that wake up bag. And I'd be right on the phone, bro. And I would always try to figure out like why I can't get sober. But it's because I stored all this shit inside of me that I never dealt with. And that's why the steps are so important, with like taking that inventory and making amends and like really breaking down like everything that happened to you. Because if you don't face those things, you're just going to keep getting high, over and over and over again. And you probably had the same thing, right? Like, why do I keep getting high? Why do I keep getting high? Well, it's because I have all this bad shit stored inside of me that I haven't gotten rid of yet. So obviously I'm going to get high. It's like a trauma thing for you. Like, if you never really like took care of your trauma or addressed your trauma, you would still be getting high right now.
Yeah. Right. Dead.
Yeah. Dead.
Dead.
Yeah. Because we don't get high no more, It's either you die or I don't know what else happens.
No, I was around at the end of the fentanyl thing. I don't know how I would have done it. I was dying left and right, and it wasn't even as prevalent as it is now.
Yeah.
I got no shot, bro.
Yeah, no. I mean, when I got sober, there was barely fentanyl. I mean, it just started coming around, Fetty Wap stamps and shit. The guy with the one eye. He was on the dope bags, bro. And I really didn't put it together.
You were up there. Those were probably his dope bags.
Yeah. 100%. But I didn't put it together until a couple years ago, bro. Like, when I'm telling everybody I never did fentanyl, and then I'm like, Fetty Wap. I'm like, it was a different color. it tasted differently. You got higher. I'm like, that shit was fentanyl, bro. Like, it just started coming out.
Yeah.
And now I can only imagine, like, you going to buy drugs 5 months ago, dude, and it was all fentanyl, right? Like, there was no heroin. There's no such thing as, like, heroin anymore. It's all fentanyl, you know? So nowadays, it's even more important to shut the fuck up and listen, because, like, when you leave that room to go get high, like, you're probably gonna die.
It's one of the problems. I don't want to say problems with the big book, because you could clip that and make me into, you know, but like,
we'll do that.
It says, guys,
clip that. Dan, you got me? Thanks, bro.
It says do some controlled drinking. Well, when you're dealing with us, dude, there's no controlled, because drinking is shooting heroin, right? For us, like, there's no controlled using anymore, man. Because I love the guys that we see in a detox or something that are like, oh, I know who I'm getting my dope from. Yeah.
My brother's a big one of those. Yeah. I'll never die. I'll never die. I know who I get my dope from. And then my boy ends up going home and relapsing with my brother. And he's like, yo, dude, your brother ain't getting real dope. Right. That's fentanyl. No, he's got a better tolerance, dude. Yeah. Like, no drug addict is like, oh, I know El Chapo, bro. I get the brown stuff. Nah, it don't work like that, bro.
And if you know what that dope's coming from, you take that half of Xanax, you don't know where, and that came from the other guy.
Yeah.
You know, come on.
No, it's a dead drug. And anybody who thinks that there's still real heroin out there, you want to go experiment with it, like, you're going to get fentanyl and your respiratory system's going to shut down and you're going to die, you know? Yeah. And that's just what it is. Like,
so what's been different this time?
In what aspect?
Everything.
Everything, dog. You pick it.
I don't know, man. I mean, this time is different because, like, you know, last time I was in fucking Atlanta, Georgia, didn't like it. The moment I don't remember if I took a plane there or well, I think I took a plane there. Didn't like Atlanta. I mean, I met some good people, so I liked some of them, but like didn't like 90% of the people I'm around, you know? But now I'm in South Florida, like everything's cool. I'm back doing like what I do for work, even though I hate it sometimes, but it's just what I know, you know? And then I got like Johnny, you know what I mean? Who like berates me every other day, which fucking helps. Like, cause that's what I respond to, you know what I mean?
It's what you need.
It's what I need.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, we'll go to the gym, man, and I'll try not to. I'm like, let me talk, because I don't want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a big brother, and I'm like, dude, I wouldn't want my big brother, like, you know, on my ass 24/7. But I'll just be like, I'm like biting my lip. Like, he'll be saying some shit, and I'm like, no, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean by that? Yeah. And I just like, explode. Like, shut the fuck up.
But not like it's like this time around, like,
you've been desperate first, right?
Yeah, for sure. You know, like, and it only bro. I got high for fucking. I mean, I was dipping here and there, but I really only got high, like solid, getting high for like 2 months before I was locked up. Fucking. Luckily, I had a job that had insurance this time. Woke up in jail, not knowing why I was there again, not knowing what I was charged with. Only fucking memory I have of the situation is sitting in the back of either my truck or probably the cop car. Cop saying like you almost broke his nose or whatever, you know, and then like I guess I'm going to jail and him saying, yeah, that was my only memory of the whole situation, you know? That and then
his mom and I kind of collaborated on this because he was like out of it.
I OD'd in a detox in Atlanta somewhere. I'm pretty sure I found the pill on the floor, the fentanyl pill, but I might have brought it in. I don't remember. You know how it is.
But he had a different, even as fucked up as he was, dude. When I was able to get it, was like a desperation. Yeah. And yeah, there was a little bit of. Yeah, he was crying like a bitch, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was crying like a little bitch.
Yeah. Which even though like that says different, right? Like he that was different, and so I will say that to start off with, there was desperation, and I think that's vital, right?
Yeah, no, 100%.
And you don't have to be down to his depths where he was in that moment.
No,
you know, like I was crying for desperation. And I was homeless and had no fucking power. Was I was in this abandoned building and all that. But I think what I've learned, right, is that was my bottom, desperate spiritual bottom. That was his spiritual desperate bottom. We'd probably been in worse situations. I know I had, because I had drugs on me. Usually I'm okay. But then I've learned through the process that like I've heard a woman who couldn't stop drinking red wine, a stay-at-home mom, right, who couldn't stop drinking. And I've heard the way she shared about her bottom and her desperation was the same as what Jake and I have experienced. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what it comes down to. I think that's what has to be there, the desperation. They say the gift of desperation.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Yeah, and it's so important.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the times too, like they say, like, well, you're not ready till you're ready, you know, like, and that's the truth. Like, unless you're fucking broken and desperate, like, you're not gonna get clean. You know, you're not getting clean with Right. I ain't getting clean with $10 in my pocket. You know, like I gotta have no money. Everybody hates me. Nobody wants nothing to do with me. Nobody will look at me. I got nowhere to stay. I got nowhere to nothing. And now I'm just broke. That's when I'll go get clean. You know, but like you said, everybody's bottom looks different.
Right.
You know, not everybody has to become homeless to get clean. You know, but I think it was just for you. Like you were just tired of fucking tripping on your own feet, right?
Yeah, bro. I can build it
so many times.
Build like a little bit of something like relatively quick because of the trades, you know, and then I get like to where I'm like at that tipping point where it's like I'm living on my own or whatever, and then like I just can't get past that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like I can get a little spot and then be on my own, but anywhere past that, like
why?
me, huh?
Why?
That's where I was going.
That's where I pull off. That's where I stop doing what I'm supposed to do because now I'm by myself. I don't have like. And I'm not real big. Like I'm already fucking up here with it a little bit. Like I don't want this big fucking friend group. You know what I mean? Like it's just not my. I don't like it. And that's probably me like
closing yourself off.
Yeah, you know, like I met a bunch of people and like I pull away from all that because I nitpick this, nitpick that. Like this motherfuckers, like they only talk about people. I have no interest in talking about that. You know,
they watch football.
Yeah, they watch.
He has like a resentment people like football.
I fucking hate football, bro. It's 6 months out of the year, bro.
Nah, bro, stop it. Don't do that.
My man.
I can't stand football.
So that's the other thing. I'm on Facebook. I'm like, oh. You're so mad at football people, but like
I'm not mad at football people. It's just my time of year. I can't stand it. Everyone's talking about fucking, and now here I am, football season, talking about fucking football.
Yeah. So you don't have a fantasy team or nothing?
Nah.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, right. He's like, sure.
I don't got one.
And
either.
I'm just like, why? But why are you angry about that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Some people just don't like it.
I'm not. You're acting like I'm fucking like spitting out the mouth, angry. I just don't like this time of year.
If you read his Facebook, that's what he's doing.
Oh, he's talking all shit.
Yeah, that's what I do. Half the things I know about him. I'm like,
oh, pull it up. No,
and I roast him, bro.
Do you get on him on Facebook?
Of course,
bro.
dude.
Not as bad as you used to, though.
No, yeah, I used to.
Not as bad, but the
like,
shit I'm like,
because look,
well, you're doing
even
better
that,
now, you know, so he can kind of like
even that to me is dangerous, right? Like, because I know, like, yeah, he's not like really cursing people, but like, yo, like, who cares what people want to do? You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing is, like, he'll be like, Sunday, he'll be at the beach, like, skimboarding. And I'm like, oh, my bad. Skimboarding's so fucking manly. You know what I mean? As opposed,
you skateboard too, don't you?
Yeah.
My guy.
He's Mr. like that guy. Yeah. Like, what do they call that? Like, no.
What?
Shit. I was gonna say no effects. That's like the old punk rock thing. But like,
no. He's not seen.
If a guy gets too famous on the radio, he's like, yeah, it's fucking sold out.
And, I don't care about music that much. So.
Yo, he's the hardest.
It just seems like you like to stay to yourself.
This is it, bro. And he was saying he can accumulate some things, right? He's the hardest worker I know. He's very talented. And I think this goes two ways, right? It shows why this disease wins over everything when we don't allow like we don't work a program or we don't figure out, you know, what we're doing. We just work hard, get a couple things, don't do shit about what was going on, think that the money's going to save us, and then nothing happens. Yeah. Because he's the hardest worker I know. Again, he's very intelligent. You know, when he puts his mind to something, he's able to do it. And I've seen this shit for fucking 9 years now. Yeah. And it's like, and I would just tell him, I'm like, bro, like, first of all, you're able to get money quick. That's the worst thing for somebody. I wasn't, right? Like, I had to get a moving job. Yeah. I have no talent when it comes to my hands or working, like that kind of shit.
Really?
No, bro. I grew up playing sports.
You didn't pick up anything in the military?
No, bro. My military career was sweeping for IEDs. I was a machine gunner, and I learned how to blow. Like I told you, I can tell you the REFs and the fucking. I don't know if you know what REF is, but like the explosive rate of explosives. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get any. I got a hard work. My work ethic is fucking phenomenal.
But you didn't get a trade. You were a real soldier.
No,
you weren't over there.
Soldiers are Army. I was a Marine. So watch your mouth.
So there's no wait. So you can't call Army, Marines, and Navies not all soldiers?
No, bro.
Okay. I got a military police behind the camera.
Yeah,
going like
he knows.
This, so.
He knows.
Sorry,
the deal.
guys.
But honestly, I wouldn't like, you know, there's like, I'm on Facebook things that soldiers, you know, whatever.
Yeah. I was fine. My bad. I mean, disrespect you, bro.
But I didn't get any. I got no trades, but I joined the Marine Corps at 25, bro. I was a fucking mess before that. I played sports, drank and partied, and I was very good at school, so I didn't ever have to put my mind into anything. Yeah. So I never got that. My dad was the kind of guy to call somebody to have him fix it. You know what I mean? Like we had a guy. We moved from down here, so we knew somebody. Yeah. Never learned shit about cars. You know, you don't change your own fucking oil. None of that shit. And And he knows all that shit. So I'm like, bro, like he has so many.
Like me.
He's got so many fucking talents that are just going to waste, really, you know? And so it's always, again, it's to his detriment, but also now like he's using it for good, right? Like he's progressing through in the plumbing industry, whatever. But again, right? What are you struggling with now? He's trying to jump ahead. He's got a couple months, right? He's feeling good. And now he's like, he wants more.
He's living in the future.
And that's balance, right? That's the balance. Like, yeah, want more for yourself, but stay in the moment. Like you're doing far better. He makes far more money than anyone in the halfway house, right? Or he has the ability to make far more money than people in the halfway house.
Yeah, you just kind of stay present.
Yeah.
Stay where you're at. And I mean, it's hard, bro, in early recovery. I remember it, bro, having like 4 or 5 months. Like, what am I going to do next month? Like, and you have a kid, bro. Like, I was thinking about like getting a girl and like trying to do all these things, but I would always plan out like 6 months in advance because like when you're raised, you're taught to do that, right? We're taught to plan things out. And then when we get clean, they're like, nah, stay right where you're at right now. So the future tripping thing I get, bro, it's hard not to future trip in early recovery, right? It's almost impossible for you not to think about what's going on tomorrow and the next day. It's very hard to stay present, bro, when you got 5 months clean.
It's for us even. It tends to be hard, right?
100%.
Especially he's got so much coming up, right? But like the guarantees are this, bro. He's gonna have his son. You do the right thing, you're gonna have your son.
Yeah,
that's not even. Well, he says course, but you never fucking believe that. I love that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah, I know. he's a big I know guy too, right?
Yeah, knows everything.
Of course I will.
Yeah.
They had to beat it into his fucking brain. Yeah. Now he knows. But I think that's the thing, though. You got to get over that hump. And yeah, I am very hard on him and everything because I've been there, right? And I think, and I know he can take it, dude. Like if he's not a bitch, bro.
Yeah, no, far from one.
But I think he's starting to understand that because you start to see the evidence, right? 6 months in a young child's life is nothing. Dude.
Nothing.
I came back into my daughter's life at 5. She was in kindergarten. Dude, my daughter doesn't even remember me not being there. And he was involved with this kid for the first couple of years, right? Like he had Jackson.
Just turned 8.
8?
Okay. So he's older. Yeah, you're at that crucial point right now too, where it's like he's gonna start remembering stuff.
Yeah, but he's right there. And that's what I'm saying. If you do it this time, there's nothing, literally nothing has been harmed. I know his mom is not like feeding him like fucking, negativity on him. I know that. She's protecting him.
Yeah.
No, I got the best mom there is.
Yeah. My mom's like that.
No, I'm talking about your son's mom.
Oh, okay.
His son's
baby
mama is not. I'm saying she's not in the little boy's ear feeding like evil.
Your dad sucks.
She's not. She's protecting him, right?
I love
her
that.
and I don't have the best relationship either. I'm not here to fucking, I don't give a shit. But it's the truth. She's protecting him, and we've talked about this. I wasn't able to see my daughter because my baby's mom was protecting her. And that's what was going on. Because my track record shows, his track record shows that we fucked this up.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna fuck it up again.
Yeah.
So it's like we need to show proof. And that's I think where you're at today. It's like I'm ready to show people, not just talk it, but actually show them.
Yeah. So currently, do you have your son in your life?
Nah.
No. Okay. Where is baby mom?
Northwest Georgia.
Okay. And she's kind of like what? Kind of like closed off right now, or where's she at with the whole thing?
I mean, I haven't talked to her since. There's no need to talk, really. You know what I mean? Not right now. Like she's got to move on, do her thing, and whatever. Like when the time comes, the time will come. Yeah. But the hard part is like getting comfortable, like not talking to the kid. You know what I mean? Like.
And there's no like lawyers.
No, he doesn't know what you.
He doesn't
know. He doesn't know what you mean.
Like when you sit there and like.
He likes that saying that too.
Yeah, I say it all the time because I don't have to explain myself.
Yeah.
Come on, you gotta explain yourself, bro. Camera's rolling.
We have no clue what you're talking about. Explain it.
When you like accept that, like, okay, right now I can't talk to him. Don't know when I'm gonna be able to talk to him. You know what I mean? And then you start to get comfortable with not talking to him, and then that's where I'll trip myself up sometimes. Like, why am I so comfortable not talking to my kid?
Got it.
What do you say to yourself now? What's the truth?
The truth of what?
That whole thing. Why you're not talking to your son?
Oh, because I fucked it up.
No.
Right now. What are you talking about?
What's the truth of why you're okay not talking to him for now?
Because I know it's for what it's for the better right now,
Right.
Because he's at that age too where like.
That's the truth though.
Yeah. Like right now, like it's like a way to trip myself up. You know what I mean? When I start tripping up, because right now I do need to like just what I got going on is what I got going on right now. You know,
leave it at that.
And it but it's easy to just it's easy to get comfortable not because I'll go like days at a time where I don't even think about them, but it's just because I'm distracted.
Yeah, work,
you know, like I'll
and
work
everything.
10, 11, 12 hours and then I'll go, I got something else that distracts me, or I'll go to jujitsu, or I'll go to the gym. And then like I'll think about it like 3-4 days later, bro, I haven't even thought about my kid at all. And then that's how you start, like, what is that? You always say it, the shame, the guilt, the shame. Then you start doing that shit to yourself, because now I'm not even thinking about my kid when I was thinking about him 24. And neither one are really like truly healthy.
Yeah.
You know?
No, not at all.
So
yeah. And what's like the feeling behind, like, how do you feel like now that your son's like not in your life? You know, like what's the feeling behind that? You know what I'm saying?
I see what you're trying to say. Really, right now, I don't really have feelings towards it right now. You know, like
it's not causing like depression or anxiety or
no,
anything. Because
maybe a little anxiety
confident.
if I like allow it, like if I allow it to cause anxiety, like yeah, but like I don't think I like no depression, nothing like that.
And is that because you're confident in the fact that you're going to continue to do what you do now, and your son will come? You know, it's just going to be.
Like if
I know
it's like he's berated into my head multiple times over, like if you just keep doing whatever, it's gonna come. Which you know, you can't deny that. Like the kid, even if you know she doesn't want that, the kid will get over her eventually, and she's not like that, so that's not even how it's gonna be. But just one way or another, like it'll happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, as long as you stay sober and you continue to do what you're doing, you're gonna be perfectly fine.
Yeah, everything will be fine.
And I know you're beating that into his head. Like, don't even worry about the kid right now. Just worry about what you're doing, and your kid will come. Because that's what happened with you, right?
Right, and because every time we try and get to the kid before we get to the sober, we get high.
Yeah.
Every time we put something ahead of it, and that's it. You know, don't put anything above in front of your recovery. I think that's very important at the beginning, right?
100%.
Now they all intertwine, right? Like I won't go to a meeting because I have something to do with my daughter. I'll put my daughter in front of my recovery, but really they become intertwined, right? I got all that, you know, and now it's about like self-care and care for my family, and that's part of my recovery, right? And part of my amends process and all these other different things. But at the beginning, yeah, man, like. If you try and rush if I try and put my, you know, my will into something, it's going to get fucked up. And that's part of my first step. I know I'm fucking not capable of doing it.
Yeah.
Now, years in, I mean, it's a different story.
Yeah, completely different story.
But it's based on those same, it's based on that foundation that like, nah, bro, like I need to follow the process. And he's doing it, right? What do you struggle with?
Like, I don't know, man. Just regular shit. Fucking, like on a day-to-day basis, like just being like open-minded and, what's the word? Tolerant with people, you know?
Yeah.
Like kids in the halfway and stuff.
Kids in halfway, kids, I mean, like I fucking do not like going across, you know, crossroads. I do not like going up there but like I'll still go. And you know, you're around a lot of people like that don't do shit or haven't done shit or won't do shit, you know, and I don't even give a fuck about the recovery part of it when I'm talking about that. They just sit on the fucking couch all day and like dumb shit like that. So then I start being a dick and being judgmental for no fucking reason, you know? But that's like the day-to-day shit that like, you know?
Yeah, but do you look at that and not wonder why that bothers you? Because just saying, no, it's the daily shit. Well, okay, yeah, that's true. But like, what bothers you about that? And now I'm playing sponsor here, so I don't want to get too deep. But like, seriously, like, what bothers you about that, right? Because that's what people told me. Like, why do you have a problem with that? And that's where
because
the
it
work
gives me
is.
something to focus on other than like what I, you know what I mean? It's like easy. It's easy to be like irritated with other people versus like deal with what's going on. Like,
dude, there's always a mess. There's a lesson, right? There's always the worst AA meeting in the fucking world, and whatever the case you may do. There's always a lesson in there. Whether it's just like tolerance and patience to sit through the shit, that happens a lot. He and I, what do you got? How many years you got?
Almost 10.
Almost 10. I'm at 5. I just hit 5.5 years. We were sitting in a meeting last Wednesday, and we're like, some people are sharing, and they're sharing the same rhetoric, just the same bullshit. It's like, bro, you heard someone say that. Like, that doesn't even make sense with this topic.
We said that too.
Yeah, we're literally saying that to each other, right? So it's not like only you know what I'm saying? Like, we think that too. But guess where we're going tonight? To the same fucking meeting.
Yeah.
You know, because it is what it is. And we were saying they're sick people.
They're sick people, yeah. And it's funny too, and I want to bring this up that, like, I've worked in the industry for the same company for the last 8 years and have fully 100% made my job my recovery. I'm the first person to say that, right? But it comes full circle that how long we've been friends? A couple months, right? Johnny got me back into the rooms, you know, just by doing this, bro, you know? And he's kind of like, yo, you want to go to a meeting? I'm like, nah, I'm good, bro. And he kept asking because he knows I got this time and I do everything but go to meetings. And he's just like, yo, just roll to a meeting with me. You know what I'm saying? Then I go home, talk to my wife about it. She's like, yo, it's a great idea. You should get back involved. And now I'm hitting him up on Monday, like, yo, you want to go to a meeting? And he's like, I got to do something with my kid. I'm like, all right, what about Tuesday? He's like, nah, we're going Wednesday. But like, bro, 3 weeks ago, you couldn't get me to go to a meeting for shit.
In fact, the one meeting when I asked, he didn't show up to.
Yeah.
So you know me, I stopped. Like, well, I'm not fucking asking you again. But then and he's like, yo, you going to a meeting? I'm like, yeah bro, let's go. In my mind, I was so excited.
Yeah, he got me back involved, bro. But that just goes to show, like, Johnny also sees the need to, like, remind people, you know? Like, yo, dog, we still got shit to do. You know, so here I am with all this time. Here you are. He talks to us the same fucking way. You know, and I just because he's like, yo, come on, let's roll, dog. Like, what's the point? And you know, it's Wednesday night, dude. We shot a podcast. I'm tired, but no matter what, bro, I'm going to that meeting now. You know, because it's important, dude. Like, he reminded me that there's people out there that fucking need me. You know, it's not always about me going to a meeting for me. It's about me going to a meeting for you. You know. And that's what I had to remember, bro. And it was really crucial. But I wanted to say that, you know, because, like, you're riding him 4 months clean. Yo, get it. And then we're in the office like, yo, Ty, let's go, bro. We're going to a meeting, dog.
That's awesome, bro. Because that's how this whole thing works.
I know. That's exactly how this works.
How old are you?
30. Yeah, we're
right.
the same
so
age.
I'm
94.
fucking, I'll be 43 in 2 weeks. But I'll call him with shit from work, like when I'm frustrated with someone here. You know, and that's also why I have no problem saying something to someone older, younger, whatever. Because, I call you. I got almost 13 years on you, but like when something's bothering me, and I'm gonna take his advice. Why? Because he's the expert. Yeah. He's been here 8 years.
Yeah.
So why the fuck wouldn't I count on him for that? You know what I mean? Because I and that's why I'm able to give it. Like, you know, I'm gonna be hard on people. I want people to be hard on me. It's the only way we do it.
And that's the beautiful thing about recovery too. Is like, I feel like I know Johnny my whole life.
Yeah,
I really do, bro. And we've been friends a couple months, dude.
Yo,
through work.
It took us like a week, right? Because like there's some shit that goes on, and we're like, and they were like feeling me out, and I was feeling them out, and I came in the office, and I'm like, yo, fuck, blah blah blah, you know. And then I'm like, yo, and then they're like, fuck that. I'm like, wait, what happened? They're like, we had to fill you out. I'm like, all right, why? Now we know, you know. But that's how it is, bro. And now because we're all the same, bro. You know.
And now look at it, bro. A couple months later, dude, this opportunity came up, and like me and Johnny were like, yo, we'll do this podcast together. You know, like jumped right on it, bro. And, like, I'm bet you these people that watch this shit are probably like, yo, Johnny and Tyler probably grew up together. You know, but it's just, dude, it's recovery, bro. You know. We live the same thing. We feel the same feelings. Like, I know what hurt feels like. I know what sad feels like. We talked about that too. You know, we share those same feelings. And that's why it's so important, bro. Like, for me to stress community. Like, I know you the halfway house and the kids are annoying as shit, but you gotta find some kind of community to like fit into, you know. And that's like where AA comes into play. Like, you might not like the kids at the halfway house, but there's some solid dudes like me and Johnny at those meetings, you know. Go hang out with those dudes, you know, because I hated those kids I was in halfway with. I mean, I loved some of them too, but I get that shit, bro. You know, your ramen's missing and, you know, all your stuff's going missing, but community is so important.
Same guy's always on the couch.
Always. You just said that, bro, with no job, right? And you're just looking at this dude like, yo, you're going to get high, bro, you know? But it's full circle because at one time I was that dude on the couch. You probably were too, you know? You just weren't ready.
You proud of yourself?
For what? For what I'm doing?
Just, I don't know, in general.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
At times, you know?
Yeah.
And then other times it's like, oh, what the fuck? Blah, blah, blah. You know?
Yeah.
All these other things. But yeah, majority of the time I am. You know, but it's still hard for me to like.
You know, it's been funny watching him like peek at the camera.
I've never once. So I keep looking at that shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so,
I'm like, I don't
get. I told him to don't look at the camera. You know, like, you don't even gotta look at the camera.
If you look at the camera, you'll never see my eyes make contact with it.
Okay, you're looking at the screen behind it.
Yeah, the screen behind it.
But go ahead. What were you saying?
Or the two good-looking dudes behind the camera. You know.
Nah, you know, he knows I don't like this type of shit.
We're good looking.
Right,
yeah. Pause.
What the fuck was I gonna say? Like, it's still hard for me to like give a fuck about the whole recovery thing. You know, like it's literally just like the way I look at it.
What's the recovery thing?
Like sobriety. Like he had to ask me. I had to count back on my fingers like what my sober date was. Like like to me, like, and this is bad. I know it's bad, but like the best thing I can put it towards is like doing laundry, right? Like I need clean clothes, so I have to do laundry, but I don't enjoy doing doing my laundry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
you have to do it.
Yeah, it's still like that. Like, like I don't fucking like doing any of this shit. The only reason I'm here doing this is because I can't fucking say no to him. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like I never would do this in a million fucking years. You know?
Yeah, I definitely didn't ask anyway.
No.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah.
He told you what you were doing. Yeah. But the coolest part about that is you didn't want to do this. I didn't sleep last night. I don't want to be here right now. He might want to be here. I don't know. I didn't ask him yet. Yeah. But we showed up, and you know, somebody's life might change from this, bro. You know, some kid that can't stop getting high, bro, might hear one thing that you said, and that guy is going to be alive now because of you. You know, that's fucking crazy, dude.
And by the way, he's doing his shit. He's making his amends. He's in the amends process. He was over my house. It ended up not being that long, but he's over my house 3 times already trying to help me fix shit, right? He's up in my attic, you know, sweating his balls off, getting shit all over, like because we were trying to figure out where this leak was coming from. I'd have been paying thousands of dollars for that, right? So he's doing the deal, and he tells me, he's like, no, he's like, he does. He says the same shit he's saying on here. You know what I mean? He's grateful. He's showing gratitude, right?
Yeah.
I told him too, the only thing I need is you to stay sober, bro. Like but people have said that to me too. And that's kind of a cop out. Like we got to make the amends, right? To my parents, to my wife, right? Like to my daughter, right? Yeah. And I can't wait to the best part is like, wait till you get to make an amends to your son, dude. Like that shit's going to be awesome. And you're going to be doing it for years. Like, and how do I do it now? Like she has a bunch of pair of shoes like me, right? So if I see like, should I buy it? I'm like, wait a minute. Fuck yeah, I should. I just spent this money on, you know what I mean? I robbed my daughter's piggy bank, dude. My daughter didn't have a piggy bank, right? Like I tried to sell my daughter's car seat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? There's no way to make up for that, but then to continue to do what I'm doing. Yeah. And you're gonna get there, you know? And I think that's what this is about, bro. And that's why it's so important for you to be here, right? Because I can say it with 5.5 years. He can say it with almost 10. Motherfuckers like you that are in your spot or got 90 days, 60 days, all they do is they see us and they see us pull up in our car, you know, in and out. They don't see that, you know, that you working in the process, like in the trenches, bro. Like we try and stay in the trenches, but like at the end of the day, it comes from people like you that have to fucking be loud. That's why I need to know your sober date. That's why you need to fucking go up if there's a meeting that has a 5-month chip. And if they have one tonight, get your fucking 5-month chip. Yep. Because that motherfucker needs to see that. Yeah. Because those are the hardest ones, dude. I hate when people go, they're like getting their 3-year thing. They're like, this was the hardest year of my life. And I'm like, man, come on, bro. I mean, and maybe there are times, but like, you're telling me that 3-year chip is harder than that 90-day or that 6-month chip? Nah, come on, dude.
I can't understand that.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like you forgot, you
forgot where you came from. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the reason I stayed clean too in the beginning, bro, was like, you know, just looking at other people and what they had, you know, like here's this kid, he picked up a 60-day chip. I only got 30 days. I'm gonna keep going, you know, like those little tiny things, bro. And like just people telling me like, yo, hold on, just fucking hold on. I want to get high. Don't get high today, bro. Get high tomorrow. Those little things, bro. You know, I found a lot of hope in other people early on, and that kept me going. You know, and I think that that's crucial for you too, is to find hope in people that not necessarily like have what you want, but are who you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like just finding those little glimpses of hope. And that's why it's so important for people to go to meetings and pick those chips up. Even a white chip, you know, I remember seeing some dude that had like 10 months or 11 months, bro. and it came into a meeting at EDI, and I was sitting there with the kids in my halfway house, and they're like, white chip, don't, give up the fight, pick up a white.
Yeah.
And this dude that just had 10 months last month picked up the white chip. And I looked at him and I'm like, fuck, bro, that guy had so many sponsees. He was at every meeting, bro. He had a great job, everything. This shit's still fucking real, bro. Yeah. I was like, I don't got this, dude. Like, that dude had 10 months sober and got high. I don't have this the way I do. And it kept it real. So it could come from like multiple avenues at the meetings, like it could keep it real because he just got high, or dude, this guy grew up in the South Bronx, used to shoot crack and got 10 years. Like, holy shit, bro. I grew up in the Bronx. I used to do that. Yo, I want that, bro. What's up? What'd you do? How'd you do that? And it's cool that you got Johnny, bro, because you guys like been through the trenches. He pulled a little bit ahead, but like, you still have all the experiences that he had. You know what I'm saying?
That's the greatest part, bro. In 5 years, no, like the difference between 5 and 10 years is not really tell. Like, nothing. Yo, think about that. I'll have 10 years, you'll have 5 years.
Yeah.
And fucking how dope that'll be, bro.
Yeah.
And we'll laugh about that. We'll do our podcast will have like 1,200,000
we're going to bring you back
like,
on too, bro. When you have a year, I hope it falls on a Wednesday, bro. But if you're comfortable with it, I would like to bring you back on when you have a year of sobriety and explain like how the last, 8 months went.
Yeah, man.
That would be so. You can't say no.
Yeah,
Sorry, I forgot. No, say no. Mark that on the calendar.
Don't just what's your message? What would be one message? I don't like putting you under the gun.
Oh man, I don't know. God, I was gonna say, if I don't just say, like, I'm just trying not to be a bitch about everything. Just do it, whatever. Fuck it. Who cares?
What's the worst that's gonna happen?
Yeah.
You stay clean all day.
Yeah.
It's the worst that's gonna happen. I'm not gonna get high today if I do this.
Great message. Don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch, bro. Yeah, right. We should get,
but not be a bitch in that sense, right? Like, like you're not saying it in the way of like man up. You're or like be a bit like. What do you mean by like?
Just fucking like, I don't know, bro. Like, just put this, like, when I had to, like, I got through my steps, I think, like, super fast or whatever when I got out, because he came to my house, like, every day before I started working.
Do you sponsor him?
No.
Okay. Oh, no. Fuck no.
Yeah, just a question. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I was going to say it was inappropriate, but.
Like, just writing everything down, like, and then telling to your sponsor, like, it's easy. And then after that, like, you just gotta, like, I'm a bitch in a lot of ways, too. Like, I have every excuse not to go up to Crossroads. You know what I mean? But
I can't believe you don't like Crossroads. Bro, every kid that has 4, 5, 6 months clean loves Crossroads. Fashion show,
bro,
girls,
I'm not going to go here.
Butts, everything,
talk about it
bro.
after.
And he's sitting here telling me he don't love Crossroads. I'm like, something don't make sense to me here, bro.
Hey, you're doing great.
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up. We'll talk about that off the mic.
On after.
Yeah.
This guy got you in trouble, dude.
Yeah. No, he's doing a deal, man.
Yeah,
and
that's why he's alive.
Yeah, bro. He knows, dude. I love this kid, dude, a lot. There's a couple. We lose so many, dude. And I told him this the other day. It's like that wouldn't be one that hurts, which is crazy to say. You know what I mean? There's like so many people die that like you're numb to it.
Yeah.
Dude, I know his mom now. His fucking mom's awesome.
Yeah, you're part of the family now.
Yo, it's like we FaceTime his mom. Like, dude, that makes my day, dude.
Yeah.
Like, selfishly,
that's awesome.
Selfishly, this shit is awesome for us too. And we get to see people. Like, you get people from alumni. You see, like, we've seen them and had them on here.
Yeah, even Laura. Yeah,
it's like, dude, this is what it's about. So. Anyway, yeah, dude, that'd be cool. Come back on the year.
Absolutely, we'll have you back.
Do it,
my man. Thank you for coming,
brother. Love you, dude.
Yeah, love you too, dog.
Thank you guys for watching. We'll wrap this up. Like I say every time, follow us YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If you want to stay connected, reach out, send us a message. If you want to ask me and Johnny something, message us. Leave it in the comments. We will respond.
Yeah, talk shit, make fun of the way the mouth movements I make, like he does. It doesn't matter.
Please do.
Yeah, we're good.
The camera angle too. Please tell Johnny that his camera angle is horrible, because it is.
Yeah, I look like a Sharpay.
Yeah. He'll give you one of these. But I also want to say thank you to the guys that are behind the scenes in this thing that, you guys don't get to see, but it's the reason that me and Johnny get to come in here and do this and not have to sit behind a computer all the time. Dan and Preston, I mean, they are unbelievable and they don't get the credit. I think that they deserve on this platform. So I have to say that as well. We have 2 tech guys that are behind the camera that kill it on a daily basis. They sit up here every day and they, you know, chop these videos up and they do all of the social media stuff for our company. And I think that it's important to say thank you to them too, because they kill it for us all the time.
Longest outro in the history of outros.
Yeah, it's a very long outro. But we'll see you guys next week. We have a really cool guest for you guys next week. If it's a female, I'm not gonna let you know who it is, but it's gonna be super cool. So make sure you tune in.
Better looking than Jake.
Sure.